Sorry, SNA fans. Yeah, the usual technical difficulties. I need to get that fixed ASAP. But anyways, we're gonna go back to the SmackDown review. We're gonna start off with we're gonna continue with backstage interview with Carmelo Hayes, and this is where Carmelo Hayes went into the backstage interview with Kathy Kelly with her asking questions to Carmelo Hayes about a match to a very scary situation into the contest between him and Austin Theory. This was like, fortunately, in that battle, like I've been there many times. Like this is so many times, and this is nothing new to me. Like I have plenty of health scare experiences before, but the experience of me performing last week was one that I would never forget. But we should be focused on, even though I didn't win, like I did not lose either. I was like, that's true, because it ended up in a no contest, because no man wasn't contest. Like nobody win, nobody lose. There was no draws, no tie, no whatsoever. But anyways, Carmelo Hayes, but he's like, Carmelo Hayes gonna ball. But Carmelo Hayes gonna ball out, and then I am like him. And then this is where it gets interrupted into the backstage interview. This is where Austin Theory was like, that's insane. Like what you're saying right now. Like, you nearly ended my career last week. I was like, really? Like, how's that possible? Like the last time we all checked, like you were the one trying to hit the springboard Spanish fly right on to Carmelo Hayes, but you bounced your own head and hit it very hard right into the canvas, along with Carmelo Hayes' head. So if anybody like that did more of the botching, it was you, Austin. So like, why are you shaming poor Carmelo into something that you caused? But anyways, let's continue. But I'll say in kayfabe, of course. But in reality, it was just a freak accident. Even yeah. Like, obviously, of course. But anyway, this is where Austin Theory did. And he was like, now you're getting awarded on my show? Like in my city? Like, you know who the hell I am, Melo? And Melo's like, yeah, I know. And he was like, how about we spin the block on that match? Like once again. And then this is where he was like, how about again? How about we have a match next week? Like, except it won't be in your hometown in Atlanta. Like this is where he said in the enemy. Like this is what Austin Theory was like. You're talking about next week, next Friday, 7 days even. You know what? I'm busy. Like I have other things going on, Melo. Like so, I'm gonna have to make an arrange check. Like for your offer of our rematch. And this is where Grayson Waller then hilariously try to correct him, saying like Austin, like you don't have nothing. He's like, well, what are you talking about? You don't have nothing on your plate. And it's and you know what, Melo? Like he would love to face you next week, Melo. Like you're on. And this time it will be a lot different than last week. And this is where Melo's like, I like the sound of that. Like, all right, all right, and I'm gonna talk to Nick Aldis about this, and we'll try to make this official, like for next week to be scheduled. Make this official and scheduled in for next week's SmackDown on January 26th. Man, I wonder what day that is. But anyways, this is where Grayson Waller was like, yeah. And this is where Carmelo Hayes like, but in the meantime, I'll see you next Friday. This is where Grayson Waller was like, yeah, I'll see. We'll see you then too. And this is where Austin Theory was like, what? He was like, what the hell? What the hell was that? Like, Austin, I thought you had my back. Like, why would you put me in danger when I needed you the most? And then this is where Grayson Waller was like, I thought I was helping you out by proving your point. Like, the reason why you are that you are like the man that you are. Like, hopefully there's not some kind of a tag team split between, or I would consider them tag team, even though they wrestle in tag team matches. But I would say they do wrestle in tag team matches, and they do like potential guys that would be in tag team matches. Even Mother pointed that out, like when she saw Grayson Waller, like about I saw Grayson Waller and Austin Theory see the similarities before they were even a tag team. When she saw me watching Grayson Waller on NXT and watching Austin Theory on Raw, she was like Grayson Waller could be the next Austin Theory, and also they could put him in a tag team. Which I don't know how she gets that. Like just saying out of the blue, I'm saying like just saying that it does make sense because they do have that similar arrogant personas, like in being self-confident, like but in a what's that in an overconfident manner, I should say, like in an arrogant, overconfident like manner, if that makes sense, of course. But anyways, we're gonna see this match, and I believe Carmelo Hayes will win this match, and it'll be 2-0, I believe, because he beat already Grayson Waller already in that tournament, like in that Invitational United States tournament, and he also but he also lost to Kevin Owens in the semifinals. Which they had to be a winner or a loser. But Carmelo Hayes was close, but Kevin Owens respectfully won that match, and that's why he got into the finals, beat Santos Escobar, and now he's getting ready to face Logan Paul for the United States Championship. But anyways, let's get ready for the match right before the main event. I would say this would be the second match of the night, but it ended in some shenanigans and controversy, which it kind of makes sense on paper, but at the same time, it was kind of unnecessary. It would have been without this match, but then again, I would say this. I'll say maybe they did this for a reason. Whatever they did, it was for a reason. Because they could redo this match. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, for now, I'm gonna talk about what went down with LA Knight and Styles into this match. This is where they start off. But anyway, as soon as LA Knight got into the ring, he just took off his vest and just went right onto AJ. This is where they start clobbering each other with fists right into each other's face. And this is where AJ Styles tried to put him in a headlock, started hitting him with a right knuckle sandwich, or more like a headlock combo right knuckle slider. But this is where LA Knight started trying to fight back and hit him with a back suplex, but AJ Styles was not letting go. This is where he was still hanging on. This is where LA Knight pushes him right towards the upper right corner. No, right. Yeah, the upper right. I'm right. And this is where, double pun, but never mind that. But anyways, this is where he throws him right to the bottom turnbuckle in the upper right corner, like face first, like clobbering Styles in the process. That's where LA Knight then start choking Styles right onto the right corner middle ropes and start squeezing him, trying to choke him out to get a victory that way. But I wouldn't say. But I wouldn't say Knight was trying to kill him, but I would say he was trying to kill him or trying to win this match. But I would say he was want to just beat the absolute daylights out of him. And even though they metaphorically said that they walked over AJ Styles' dead body, I would say he wouldn't really kill him. But I was like, even in kayfabe, like when you're using that as a wrestling metaphoric call, like for like saying he like of him being out of action in the ring, I should say. Yeah. But anyways, this is where LA Knight starts stomping on the back. This is where he goes for a leg drop, right, or some kind of a leg drive right onto the back of the shoulder of AJ Styles. When he was face first right into the left or right corner ropes. This is where LA Knight goes for a suplex onto the Phenomenal One. That was going to be it, which you should know that if it's not like a brain buster or some kind of if it's a signature finishing maneuver, that move's not going to work because AJ Styles kicked out at 2. This is where then LA Knight then try to come up with another idea, like to put down AJ Styles for good. Like, well, even though it wasn't the blood force trauma, but he tried to hit some kind of a move that was like close to his finishing maneuver, but AJ Styles then intercepted and hit a knife edge chop, which I think Gunther finds that as the joke. But I'll say that was the only time he hit a chop because Gunther Because yeah, Gunther was saying two reasons why I wouldn't put him on the envy list because he's not repeatedly doing that, and two, like he can just fight him anytime, even though he's on a different brand. With Gunther on Raw and AJ Styles is on SmackDown. But anyways, this was this is where they start hitting right strikes right into the face of Styles, like Styles and Knight. This is where AJ Styles then hit a Pele kick right into the head of LA Knight, bringing him down onto the right side. And he started hitting slide swiping shin kicks. This is where AJ Styles then driven LA Knight right into the upper left corner, face first, right into the turnbuckle, hit a sidewalk backbreaker. And this is where AJ Styles trying to try to regain his strength and start stretching out his back because I believe he started being twisted by like a pretzel, like from getting hit with those ropes. And this was reminded that he put his torso and his head and face and throat right into the ropes. So he started doing that with LA Knight, started squeezing him, trying to choke him to death, trying to get rid of the LA Knight problem and go forward with the Roman Reigns problem. But the referee was like no, like he's on the ropes, so I cannot. Even if he's choked out, like I cannot say he's submitted unless he's off the ropes. And this is where AJ Styles I'd say, all right, I got my hands are off the ropes, off of him and the ropes. This is where LA Knight tried to catch a breather, going right on the upper right corner turnbuckle. This is where he tried to go onto the corners and try to hit some kind of an attack move. But this is where LA Knight then started hitting right hands repeatedly right onto the head of Styles. Styles countered into a kick right into the back of the leg. This is where AJ Styles hit another one of his rare chops. Like this is where then he tried to Irish whip LA Knight from the right side corner to the left. This is where he counters out of it, and this is where AJ Styles started running towards the left. This is where LA Knight hits that running power slam right onto AJ Styles, even though that was a signature move. But AJ Styles kicked out at 2.6. This is where LA Knight then tossed him face first right onto the bottom corner of the bottom right corner on the top turnbuckle. This is where he landed right down onto the bottom turnbuckle. This is where LA Knight started to stomp right onto the ribs of AJ Styles, with the fans start chanting, yeah. And this is where LA Knight did his pose, like doing his hand catchphrase and his hand phrase and catchphrase, I should say, with LA Knight. And then this is where I go for a kick, but AJ Styles slide on and dodged the kick right into the boot, right into the face, I believe. This is where AJ Styles was on the bottom corner apron, which is one of the hardest part of the rings. And then the hardest part of the ring, and this is where LA Knight try to go from try to get out of the ring, try to grab AJ Styles right off the apron, but AJ Styles beat him to it and slide kicked him right into the face. And then this is where AJ Styles was on his knee. This is where he was trying to regain some energy and stamina from getting beaten to death by the megastar, I should say. This is where the phenomenal one did Irish whip him right to the bottom right corner of Barry Barricade. This is where AJ Styles redid the count out so they wouldn't get double counted out. But this where it was kind of a distraction, because as soon as he went back out, trying to grab LA Knight, but he grabbed him and flapjacks him right into the bottom left, not the bottom right corner of Barry Barricade's tombstone. And this is where AJ Styles started crawling right towards out on the announce table. This is where he was getting whacked right into the face by the megastar, right onto the top part of out on the announce table. But this is where Jimmy Uso came right out into the arena. This is where he was getting ready to try to cause some distraction and shenanigans. And this is where LA Knight didn't paid attention till the last minute. This is where he was like, why in the hell is why the hell is Jimmy Uso coming out here? This is where he tried to come at him and try to send him back to his cousin, the tribal chief, who's like, you're the cause of me not being WWE champion, and I'm gonna make you pay the price right here, right now, but while I'm beating AJ Styles' ass. And once I get you out of my way, like I'm going after your cousin for his WWE championship. But LA Knight saying that right to Jimmy Uso. This is where Jimmy Uso's like, oh, I don't want no trouble. I just want to watch the match in front row. And he was like, well, there is no front row seats, so there's no reason to being out here. And then this is where he caught him off guard, because as soon as he turns back around, this is where he turns back around and goes right back into the announcer's area. This is where AJ Styles hits a Pele kick out of nowhere. This is where he kicks him, right? And this is where, before they can even continue the match, this is where Solo Sikoa grabs onto LA Knight and putting his back against the barricade. This is where he hits the Samoan spike right into the throat of LA Knight, which ended in a DQ finish. And if I ever said it ended in a no contest, then I was wrong and I apologize. But I'm not sure if I did. I said it's just like the finish was very controversial. Like it was very, I'm not sure even needed. Even though they're trying to have Solo prove a point, but why they did this like after the match? Like I've seen who's gonna win the match, unless WWE do not want none of these men beating neither man beating each other like in this match. Like what if it's LA Knight pins AJ Styles, or vice versa, AJ Styles pinning Knight? But like they probably waiting until WrestleMania to do this match with Styles against Knight, if that's the plans for the Megastar and the Phenomenal One. But let me know in the comment. But let me know in the comments down below what's your thoughts on that. But this was Solo Sikoa and set his attention on the AJ Styles, driven him right into the upper right corner, throw him back in the ring. This is where Solo Sikoa rolls back in the ring. This is where he was getting ready to hit the Samoan spike right on the Styles, which he did so. This is where he's it is where he. This is where he hit the spike on Styles. This is where he grabs on the microphone. This is where he was like, 2 down, 1 to go. Randy Orton, get your ass out here right now, and we can finish things off. And this is where we do get the main event match with Randy Orton and Solo Sikoa, which we will all believe that who was gonna win, whoever gonna win, it was definitely gonna be the Viper. Like regardless, like whether he was challenging Roman Reigns for his championship or not, I think Orton would have won this match either way. But anyways, I would put AJ Styles and LA Knight in the second list, but it ended in this way. So I would say give it about the 6th match of the night. Hopefully, I'm gathering matches in a row, which I doubt I am. But I would say the match before deserves a second spot, because women's tag teams like Isla Dawn and Alba Fire and Kaden Carter and Katana Chance used to not get that much TV time, like when they were not going after the women's tag team championships. But either way, I'll say either way, that match. But I'll say, that was a pretty good match. Like, what if the championships were out on the line? I'll say, either way, what if the championships were not on the line? I think this was really good. But what's your thoughts on what was the match of the night from the first to the 5th match, which is the main event? But I think they're just leading this up into a WrestleMania potential match, or maybe they could do it early at the Elimination Chamber, like if let's say if Randy Orton or Roman Reigns wins and walks out of there is the undisputed unit. He started whacking poor Randy Orton right face first, right onto out on the announce table, bouncing off like if they're playing the game of whack-a-mole, or should I say whack-a Orton, I should say. Hopefully I don't get RKO'd for making a joke like that. Like whether if it was cringy or too funny. But anyways, this is where This is where he tried to Irish whip Randy Orton. This is where he Irish whip Randy Orton right into the upper right corner of the steel ring stairs. This is where Soul Cole was like, ah! like Rise of the Bloodline. I was like, if it was the Rise of the Bloodline, then it would be like everybody in the Bloodline would still be there, like including Jey Uso. But I guess more like the rise and fall of the Bloodline, more like. But anyways, this is where he throws Randy Orton back in the ring, like. And this is where they got back in the ring. This is where Randy Orton was got some offense here. This is where he slams Solo face first right on the hardest part of the ring apron. Like so hard, it's more harder than my nephew's toy Nerf right here. But anyways, this is where Randy Orton got thrown back in the ring right into the right corner side ropes, not ropes, right under the second corner side ropes, not on it. But anyway, this is where he tried to go right back in the ring. But before he can even enter the ring, this is where Randy Orton grabs onto Solo Sikoa after he kicked him right into the gut, and then he went and performed his draping spike DDT right onto the enforcer of the Bloodline. This is where Randy Orton was like, yes, this is it right here. This is where he thought he was going to get it the first time, which was the 3 dangerous letters in all of sports entertainment, which is the RKO, of course. But this is where Jimmy Uso thought he was gonna finish the job, like help Solo finish the job for the enforcer. But LA Knight came out of nowhere and tagged him from behind for everything he's done tonight, like for distracting him in his match, not only against Roman Reigns, but also with tonight's match against Styles. And this is where he made sure that he's occupied with him, like with him getting beaten. But before he can even do more damages onto so-called self-proclaimed no yeet main event Jim Uso, this is where he gets Jim with a big right forearm right into the face of Jim. Or should I say Jonathan, whoever you want to call him. Hopefully I don't get fined or copyright for saying that. But anyway, this is where AJ Styles came out of nowhere from the entrance and attacks Jimmy Uso from behind, started whacking him with right hand to the head of Jimmy Uso and throw him face first right onto the Titantron screen. This was like, it's you and me now, Los Angeles, or wherever LA stands for, like into the first name of LA Knight. But this is where Randy Orton was distracted. He's like, oh boy, like not this again. And then this is where Solo Sikoa tried to get him with the spike, but he did not know that he wrestled his uncle, so he knows everything about Samoan spikes because he knew. Because as soon as he turned him around, Randy Orton instantly hit him with the three dangerous letters, the RKO, right in the middle of the ring. Got the 1, 2, 3 into this main event match of tonight's Friday Night SmackDown. Your winner, the Apex Predator and the Viper, Randy Orton. This is where LA Knight and AJ Styles got in the ring. This is where they went right in. This is where they looked face to face to each other in a 3-way because it's gonna be them 3 and also Roman Reigns in a fatal 4-way match for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. This is where LA Knight and AJ Styles was arguing again for the second time of the night, I suppose. I'll say the second when they were doing a stare down on each other. And AJ Styles was like, no, this is my time to shine. This is where AJ Styles was like, no, like that's my time to shine. No man like cosplaying cosplaying as the people's champion to take my spot. And then this is where LA Knight hit a big right hand right to AJ Styles' face, went right down to the ground. And this is where LA Knight's like, you stay out of my way when I'm trying to defeat Roman Reigns to become WWE champion. And then he's like, get out. You and Randy, just stay out of it. And then this is where Randy Orton's like, what did you just say? And he just turned him around, RKO'd him as well, in the process. But this is where Roman Reigns came out of nowhere with a Superman punch out of nowhere, trying to copy off the phrase of hitting their move and saying it out of nowhere. But this is where Roman Reigns was hanging on to the ropes. He's like, "Come on, Randy! You're this is gonna happen when I retain my championship." I was like, "How do you know if it's gonna happen? If you're if you're not sure if you're gonna get it tonight tonight on SmackDown." And that's exactly what happened. He tried to go for a spear after he tried to do the ooh ah kind of pose that he always does before he does the spear. But before he can even spear him, this is where Randy Orton got back up and just turned around and RKO'd him out of nowhere when he tried to attempt a spear right onto him. And he was like you nitwit, like you thought I was gonna fall for your spear, like thinking it's not gonna come out of nowhere, like just like my RKOs, like you cannot predict when it's gonna come out like a spear and a Superman punch. You just cannot be like me. That's what Randy Orton was looking like when he after he hit the RKO on the Tribal Chief, which it could show that Randy Orton could win, and we could see a story could be finished at WrestleMania 40, but that's only if he can successfully defeat the Tribal Chief. But also, before he tried to attempt to go for a spear, Roman Reigns grabbed onto the contract that Nick Aldis was trying to give him. This is where he finally grabbed on the contract and signed it. But I forgot to say that. My apologies. But I'm gonna say it right here, right now. But yeah, that was tonight's SmackDown. Randy Orton RKO'd him like out of nowhere when he tried to go for a spear. Like that never gets old. Like when Roman Reigns tried to go for a spear, but he gets intercepted with an RKO. Like hopefully we do get that spot at the Royal Rumble. That'll be something to be looking forward to, as well as the match in general. And it remains to be seen who's going to walk out as champion. I would say maybe it could be Roman Reigns retaining, and he could face either Cody or The Rock at Night 2's main event at this year's WrestleMania, at WrestleMania 40. But the second prediction goes to Randy Orton, in case if they wanted to make this a non-title match with The Rock, more possible, with The Rock distracting him, and whether if he takes the pin or if Styles or Knight takes the pin, we could see a guaranteed title change if that happens, if The Rock makes his return by distracting the Tribal Chief and challenging him for the head of the table, what he teased at the beginning of this month in January 1st at the Day 1 edition of Raw. But we're gonna figure all that stuff out. We're gonna figure it all out when we see in a week from tomorrow's the week from tomorrow, not SmackDown, at the Royal Rumble, which will be 8 days from now. That was the end of Friday Night SmackDown. I would say I would give tonight's SmackDown a 4 out of 5 star review. I'd say not the greatest SmackDown, but it don't have to be just to be sports entertained on such a show like tonight. Especially when it comes to the main event side of things. Hopefully we start seeing more entertaining and exciting spots happening like this on a SmackDown show. But yeah. We just have to stay tuned for what's going to happen next. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this review. And if you did, please leave a big thumbs up, comment down below, subscribe, click the bell notification so you can be the first one to know. Make sure to check out Rampage coming up next, and I'll see you all there. Until we meet again, Super Ninja Austin, the Assassin out. See you in 5 seconds. Yeah, Birdie Bird. I see you. I see you too.